That's good. Next thing, Oyinkan Shola, what is the roadmap for digital forensics with no experience? The roadmap for digital forensics with no experience, essentially the first step or the first stage in digital forensics with no experience is law. So you need to understand the principles of digital forensics. That is the first stage. I created it seems that it seems a lot of people are interested in digital forensics. So this is the second question. I'm going to upload one of my materials as well. Uh, 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 I'll upload one of my materials alongside the lab I promised. So you see the principles. So one of the things you need to be familiar with is the principles, and the principles of digital forensics depends on the country which you are. So in which you are. So for me, I'm currently in the UK, and I had to learn the principles of the GCHQ. GCHQ is British intelligence. So you have GCHQ, you have MI5, MI6. These are all intelligent organizations. They come up with digital forensics principles. Also, I also had to learn the Association of Chief Police Officers digital forensics principles. This is because I'm in a country. I'm in a different. I'm not in Nigeria. I'm in a different country now, and the fact that I'm working in the UK, any forensic investigation or any crime investigation that I'm conducting must be in line with the jurisdiction of the UK. It must be in line with the legislation. So you need to understand the law. So I don't know about digital forensics in Nigeria, unfortunately, but if you want to work in Nigeria, you need to ensure you understand the legislation. You need to understand the principles, but also the ones I'm currently uh, learning, or the ones that I've been learning so far. I feel you can also learn them because you never know where where you could work tomorrow. So understanding digital forensics principles is very important. You could learn ACPO, MI5, MI6, GCHQ. You could also learn NIST, the United States of America digital forensic guidelines. So that's the first thing. And then the second stage is learning how to use the tools. So second stage is learning how to use the tools. There are different digital forensics tools there. In my class, I use both Linux-based and software-based. So some of the tools I use includes Autopsy for collecting evidence, FTK Imager for making memory dump for capturing the RAM information after seizure of the suspect device. I also use uh, Oxygen Forensics. So these are some of the tools I use. And also there are other high-level tools that are not open source that I use, such as NCase. But I can use NCase in teaching you guys because I have access to NCase. So NCase is one of those high-level tools. Also Bash. You can bash Linux-based commands. Linux has Linux versions such as Kali Linux and Security Onions. Operating system have some Linux-based tools that you can use for digital forensics. So before I move to the next question or the next person, Oyinkan Shola, you essentially need to understand the principles of digital forensics as well as the tools, and that's all. Yeah, principles and the tools. Yeah. And just to add something else, also with digital forensics, there's a certification that you could take when you finish learning digital forensics. It's called CFI, Certified Forensic Investigator. It's the most prestigious in digital forensics. It's going to cost you a lot of money. I think about 800 to £1,000, but it's worth it. It opens doors of opportunities to you for remote jobs as well as jobs that will enable you to relocate to Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. So yeah, these are some of the countries I'm aware of that are recruiting digital forensics and cybersecurity experts. So CFI is a very good certification, just as CEH is also good for pen testing. Yeah. Yeah. Any question? Let's keep going. Yeah.
I think all the questions
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
answered.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, and the Netherlands. I'll tell you something about the Netherlands. So I have three of my friends at the Netherlands now. To be very honest with you, there was a time in my life where I almost wanted relocating to the Netherlands. The Netherlands and Ireland, Dublin, have more opportunities in cybersecurity than the United Kingdom. There are so many opportunities. There's a friend of mine that learned cybersecurity in 2022. He's currently in the Netherlands. He got a job in Nigeria. He works with a software company called Adyen. It's a software and a service company. He got a job from Nigeria. They sponsored his visa, and he relocated in 2022. He he the job was I think it was cybersecurity. There are two of my friends. One had data science, one had cybersecurity. Both of them had a very huge package, starting salary of 80,000 euros with visa sponsorship as well as bonuses of over 28,000. Netherlands pays very well, and these are people. These are my friends. They never traveled out of Nigeria before that time, but they took almost 9 to 8 months to learn data science and cybersecurity, and they wanted going for internships, and they just decided to apply to the company, and they were recruiting entry-level positions at that time. They both studied maths at FUT Mina. Nothing close to cybersecurity. They had no experience. Yeah, but they just went for the interview and they passed. Yeah. So Netherlands is a very good place. Very, very good place for you to work. And also like the cost of living in Amsterdam is better than London because it's very expensive living in London. Yeah. Yeah. No worries, no worries. Oyinka Shola. Next question, please. I want you to ask me questions. Any questions? What is the highest cybersecurity attack you have faced? Okay, Gideon, that's a very good question. So, in my PhD program, I was able to create a model which which was specifically for Internet of Things application that could detect and block 127 different types of cyber attacks. But it took me 3 years to create that model. It took me 3 years to build that model. So I built an AI model that could, yeah, could deal with over 100 different types of attacks. But I had to train the model for over a year to be able to learn the attack patterns and detect and prevent those types of attacks. So I've been working. Also, I worked on a project with a cyber helpline in London as an intern to uh, perform some forensic investigation, such as email forensic investigation in 2020. Yeah, I think the second year I moved into the United Kingdom. So I've worked on different projects, but the one I built in my PhD was the hardest. It was for like over 100 types of attacks, and it took a very long time to build. Yeah. Can you please send the material to the general group? Okay, I don't think there's a group for cybersecurity, but I'm going to send it to Mr. Adewale first. I'll send it to him, and then I'll tell him to share with you guys. So you see, some of our teaching
Sorry,
material.
Victor.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I send you a chat. It's an invite to the group, and I'm just gonna make it an admin so you can share all the information you want to share with them.
Okay,
Or
no worries. No worries then. That'll be much more easier. Yeah. Any questions? Sir, please, can you? Okay, okay. Yeah. Any questions? I can see 30 people in the room, but do you have questions? If you have questions, please ask me. I want to answer all your questions, so please ask me if you have questions. Don't if you want to message me directly here, even here, just ask questions. If you're shy to type in the group, in the pub, just drop a question. I want to answer.
Yeah, so I still have some questions here. right?
Yeah.
So one question here is that, okay, I think the question is so related to the question Daniel asked about more practical exposure um um in cybersecurity, right? So the next question here that's new is where are the places I can work as a cybersecurity? Uh,
Okay. So okay.
so it's a two-way question, right? Two in one
Okay.
question. So the
Okay.
person is like, where can I also apply for internships or paid internships as someone who have completed a course? I have a certification already.
Okay. Okay. So I'll answer the question. So I'll answer the question and then I'll answer the one in the chat now. So the first one, where can I apply for jobs since for internships, paid internships? It depends on the certification you've completed. I want to be very clear about certain certifications. There are some certifications that are not worth it at all. So don't waste your time. Yeah. I mean, it may be worth gaining some knowledge, but some certifications, sorry, excuse me, some certifications are not going to help you. They're not going to help you. I took so many certifications while I was in Nigeria. Even when I came to the United Kingdom, some free certifications on Google. Yeah. But when I went to my first interview, I realized that those certifications are not going to do anything for me. And I went to several interviews as well. And when I mentioned these certifications, they're like, nah, this certification doesn't count. Like, it doesn't help. So, but there are specific certifications that when you have in your CV, you can use them to apply for jobs or internships. Examples of such certifications includes CompTIA Security. So CompTIA Security is one of those certifications. When you have CompTIA Security in the UK, when you start submitting applications, when you have that in your LinkedIn and you have LinkedIn Premium activated, you see recruiters sending you roles, sending you job offers. We have these role, we have these job in this city, in that city. We would like you to tell us a date and time for an interview, or let's say you have a certification in Amazon web security or Amazon cloud solution architect. These are certifications that count, or these are certifications that matters. Or you have a certification in Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineering. These are certifications that count. Or you have certified ethical hacking. So these are certifications that you can use to apply to jobs, internships. Yeah, but some certifications do not count. I wish I know the person who asked that question so I can ask him the specific certification uh, he has. But if you're in the room, you can just notify me, just tell me the certification and I'll tell you what to do. Also, with regards to the second question, which he said, where can with cybersecurity, you can literally work everywhere. So you can work in the tech industry, you can work in finance. In the UK, it's Udemy. Oh, I see. I see. It's Udemy. Nah, nah. Udemy is a good platform to learn, but nah, Udemy certification in the industry doesn't count. It doesn't count. Yeah. So it doesn't really count it doesn't count. So yeah, with regards to the second question, so I was answering the second question. So the second question, you can apply
Um,
to, yeah, sorry, yeah,
so what if you get certification from Future Learn?
it also doesn't count. These are certifications to these certifications do not count. Yeah, they don't count. They don't count in the industry. Yeah, they don't count in the industry. Future Learn, Udemy, Coursera, they don't count in the industry. Yeah, there are some certifications from IBM that doesn't even count as well. Yeah, but when even Google, they have free certifications that don't count. Yeah. So you have to, even in 20, as I'm talking to you, there are some certifications in 2024 that no longer that can no longer get you into any place, anywhere. But there are certifications from specific bodies or organizations that when you have in your CV, everybody wants you. For instance, the one I mentioned to Gideon, CEH, certified ethical hacking has been there for years. It's still very relevant and uh, much needed in the industry because we need to have pen testers. We need to have pen testers. We need to have offensive security professionals with these certifications from EC Council. Recruiters or job boards are always going to reach out. They're always going to reach out to you when you have these certifications. You have CFI, Certified Forensic Investigator. They'll always reach out to you. You have CISA, Certified Information System Auditor. Always. Jobs, opportunities. Yeah. So, but some certifications do not count. Oh, ISC Square count. So ISC Square certification count, even from their entry level CC certification, which is called Certified in Cybersecurity, is very, very good. It's very good. And just to let you know, when you get to 5 years, 6 years working in cybersecurity, uh, the highest level certification in cybersecurity is CISSP. That's the best. That's the most prestigious certification in cybersecurity. That's the certification that gives you access to six figure jobs in cybersecurity. So it really counts a lot. So I'll answer the second question and I'll come back to the chat and answer all your questions. So with the second question, you can work anywhere with cybersecurity. As a matter of fact, in the UK, more than 80% of the banks we have in the UK recruit cybersecurity experts. Lloyd's Bank, even the American banks such as Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they recruit cybersecurity experts. Entry level into audit and assurance firms, KPMG, they recruit cybersecurity. Deloitte has a specific recruitment window for cybersecurity entry and senior level roles only. So you can work in audit and assurance companies, you can work in banks, you can work in tech companies, Google, Microsoft. All these companies are in the UK, Netherlands, they're everywhere. So you can work there as well. And law firms. I don't know if you've heard of the Magic Circle law firms. So the Magic Circle law firms recruit cybersecurity professionals. DLA Piper. With cybersecurity, you can literally work anywhere. Honestly, you can literally work anywhere. Even the NHS, the National Health System in the UK, they recruit cybersecurity specialists, analysts, pen testers. Yeah, so you can work anywhere. Okay, and now I'll go back to the chat. Are there non-technical roles in cybersecurity? Yes, there are non-technical roles. An example of a non-technical role in cybersecurity is GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Some of the non-technical roles in cybersecurity pays very good sum of money. Yeah, GRC pays very well. GRC is very good. Government risk and compliance in cybersecurity is one of the non-technical roles that can pay you a lot of money, but you need to have some certifications in that area. So I'll tell you the key to cybersecurity. The key or the secret in cybersecurity is skills, experience, certifications. You want to get more promotions in cybersecurity, certifications. In software, it's different. In cybersecurity, the more certifications you have, the more money you get. I have a friend currently that has 3 certifications. He has 3 high-level certifications, and his salary is running around 210,000. He's at Goldman Sachs. He's earning £210,000. So while he had two certifications, he was earning around 100 plus. And the moment he had the last one, which was CISSP, his salary, because the more certifications, the more you get to a senior role. He's now a cybersecurity lead at Goldman Sachs, and he earns so much money. And after some time, you keep climbing, he gets to a level of a manager. And some managers in cybersecurity, in Google and in Meta, managers in cybersecurity earn between 450 to £500,000. So yeah, certification is very important in cybersecurity. So the next question, it says, for beginners like me, I've only heard about cybersecurity and new to all the pen testing. Can you make some clarifications of where they are classified and belong? Julius, if you go through the recording on YouTube, you should be able to find a video which I did last week. I was able to clarify everything last week. Yeah. That should help. Yeah. So some of us are not in tech field and quite interested. How can you? Yeah. You can learn. Fisolami. You can learn. You can learn from. Yeah. You can learn from. Yeah. You can learn anything. It doesn't matter whether you're beginners. When I started learning cybersecurity, I was a beginner as well. I mean, at that time, I didn't even like programming. Yeah, now I like programming. I know programming because I had to learn programming. But when I started cybersecurity, I didn't know programming. And there was no part of cybersecurity that I wasn't able to learn, irrespective of the fact that I didn't know programming. I was able to specialize in network security and later fell in love with digital forensics. So you can learn. Don't worry about being a beginner or not having skills. No, you shouldn't worry. I used to have fears as well. Cisco is really good. Cisco is good. Cisco is a very good certification, Demi. Cisco is really good in networking. It's still very recognized today. But when you have Cisco, today it's important you also have a cloud certification to support Cisco, such as CCSP. Yeah, CCSP with Cisco will be really good. What about ALT Africa? What is ALT Africa? I'll come back to this question. So where do we get this certificate account? Okay, Sam, certificate account. There are several bodies. Like I mentioned, Microsoft has some certifications in cybersecurity. AWS, Amazon Web Service have certifications in cybersecurity. Unfortunately, most of the certifications that count in the industry requires money. That's the saddest part. It's sad, but I always say this, and I said it last week. If you want to invest in cybersecurity or you want to learn, you need to spend some money. Yeah, you need to spend some, but you're never going to regret anything. You need to spend some money. In my own career path, everything was easy for me because all my life I had scholarships, even up to my PhD. I was working and had over almost 200K funding for PhD. All my life has been scholarship. But I tell you, if I never had this scholarship, I would have paid a lot of money to learn. So I don't buy all these resources. I just get them for free. But you trust me, you have to. You have to pay some amount of money to have these certifications. You don't need to go for CEH. No, you don't need to go for CH now if you can't afford. But at least have CompTIA security. Have CompTIA security when you start learning cybersecurity, or when you finish learning cybersecurity for the first 6 months. You don't finish learning, but when you learn to a certain level, or when you learn a particular domain, write CompTIA security. It doesn't cost more than £200. So when you have CompTIA security, CompTIA should be able to get you into your first job. And when you have that job, any other certification you need, including CISSP, which is the highest level, the companies pay for. Companies pay for all the certifications you need, irrespective of remote job, not on site. No, they pay for everything. But you need one to get into the system first. And unfortunately, you need to spend at least 150 to £200 or dollars. Yeah. So I'd like to talk about information security. It's a core part of how important it is in the field of cybersecurity and how can one become one. I'll make this clear. You see, information security and cybersecurity analysts, there's no difference. There's no difference. If you look at the job description, the job function, there's no difference. So, for instance, when you go to companies like Google, they call it information security expert. When you go to Microsoft, they call it cybersecurity expert. There's no difference between these two things you mentioned. In the UK, you have MSc Information Security, you have MSc Cybersecurity. Same curriculum, everything, same modules. There's no difference. There's no difference. Yes, you find books that will differentiate information security and say call it now. There's no difference with respect to the job function. So do not confuse yourself too much about these information security and cybersecurity. Yeah, because they essentially do the same job. Yeah. In my study, I came across the history of hacking dating from From Metro Hawk to UCLA crash, he made mention of building models to fight attackers. For beginners, what should be our focus? Okay, Gideon, for building models to fight attackers, for beginners, I'll say your focus, if you're a beginner, focus should be on learning the pen testing you mentioned. When you learn the pen testing, you will get to know how to break into a system. Red team, you get to know how to break into a system, and you do blue teaming as well. You learn to defend. So when you learn how to break into a system, you learn how to defend. You keep practicing, yeah? After some time, you go for CEH. When you go for CEH, you further solidify your knowledge and your skill in pen testing. Now, when you talk about building models to fight against attackers, this is not only cybersecurity. So I learned cybersecurity. I worked in cybersecurity for some time. I went to lecture in cybersecurity, and then I decided to pursue a PhD in AI. So AI helps me build AI, or AI enables me build uh, cyber security models for detecting the attacks I mentioned. So those models are not built on cybersecurity mechanisms. They are built based on AI algorithms, and then a bit of differential privacy in cybersecurity is embedded into that model. And I use cybersecurity data set or cyber attacks based data set to test the model to see if it's working or not. Do you get me, Gideon? Do you get me?
Yes, I got you, sir.
Yeah. So the models are built using AI. Yeah. So I use machine deep and federated learning to build these models. But I test the model, I test the precision, prediction ability, detection ability of the model using these cyber attacks. So you build something, yeah, with AI, but you test if it's working using the cyber attacks data set. Are we together? Yeah.
Yeah, I lost you at some point.
Yeah. Pardon?
Said I lost you at some point. The
Okay,
network was fixed.
okay, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it briefly. So what I was trying to, I was just trying to clarify myself. So I said the mod you're talking about the model. So I said I built those models using a combination of AI and cybersecurity mechanisms. So the cybersecurity techniques or cybersecurity methods I use in building the model includes differential privacy and homomorphic encryption. Remember I mentioned encryption earlier. I said it's used to hide data or it's used to convert data to from plain text to ciphertext. So I used cybersecurity mechanisms in conjunction with AI algorithms such as deep learning, federated learning, and machine learning to build these complex models in detecting cyber attacks. So you asked the question, at what stage are you guys going to build models to detect or predict these attacks? So you can build you can learn offensive security, which is pen testing. Yeah, you can learn offensive and defensive security to hack into systems and to secure systems. But if you want to build complex models, finish learning cybersecurity first. Yeah, learn cybersecurity to a certain level. Yeah, and then you switch to AI. You don't completely move from cybersecurity to AI, but you also start learning the cybersecurity aspect of AI. But learn cybersecurity first. At least master cybersecurity. I worked in cybersecurity for a long time before I started learning AI. And then now I can use cybersecurity and AI. I combine them to create very complex system to secure devices and Internet of Things against cyber attacks. Are you clear? Are you clear? Yeah. No, I'm not the best. Yeah, but you can start learning one thing and then you move later. But start with one thing first and move. And also, I'll tell you something. It's better you identify an area. So if it's network security, with you mentioned something which I like, and with the other lady that says she wants to go into digital forensics, try to master one area. I learned network security. That's what I started with. I learned network security for over 2 years. I was enjoying it, and then later I saw digital forensics. And one of the reasons why I learned digital forensics was because I was working with some guys in Nigeria that were EFCC staff. I was working with them. They were my friends. And I was like, how do people do these things? But they were not into the digital forensic department, but they told me about this thing. I was in Nigeria, and then I said, okay. I started learning digital forensics. I wanted to know how to investigate, how to collect evidence, how to report crime scene, how to get the warrant, how to present evidence in the court of law, how to ensure the integrity of evidence is maintained. So I later learned digital forensics, and then I mastered digital forensics for some time. And then in 2021, I decided, I want to learn AI. And then I got my second job that time in the UK, and I got funding for AI PhD, and then I started learning AI. So yeah, but now I can either work in cybersecurity companies and AI. As a matter of fact, I've received several offers. 2 months ago, I was with one of my friends, and I received a mail from Meta for a role in their London office. It's an AI role in federated learning. So the interview is even scheduled for March. So these are some of the opportunities you can be able to get as well. But the first thing is you need to learn something, and you master one thing. Do not learn multiple things. So if it's cybersecurity, identify your area of focus. It's good you say you want to learn pen testing. Learn pen testing very well. And when you want to look into complex models or predicting or detecting complex models, you can go back to that later.